About 17% of all identified Russian soldiers killed in Ukraine are officers. This data is provided by the BBC Russian service, which, together with partners and volunteers, analyzes open sources and keeps a list of Russian military casualties by name. They have already managed to confirm information about the death of more than 4,500 soldiers and officers. According to military experts, high losses among command staff indicate that the Russian army lacks highly qualified surgeons, and that's why low-level tactical actions are carried out under the officer's command.
It also indicates a certain weakness or defect, a lack, let's say, of the Russian army. This reduces the effectiveness of Russian troops not only in the Donetsk region in the context of a potential, most likely future offensive, but also in all other sectors of the front.
According to journalists, the fastest growing number of casualties is among those whom the Russian authorities call volunteers. Most often these are men over 40 from regions with a low average salary.
The very local outcasts who are either high on Russian propaganda and go with weapons in their hands to wipe out the so-called Banderas, or the characters representing depressed Russian regions. For about 200,000 rubles, which by local standards is simply colossal money, they are ready to risk their lives and their health to earn this money and try to move at least a little up the social ladder. They are treated primarily as cannon fodder and expendable material in this war. They train these people for 3 to 7 days and throw them forward, with one goal, that they discover Ukrainian firing points.
The second largest category of the killed are conscripts and those who have recently completed their service and signed a contract. It is people between the ages of 18 and 26 who account for slightly less than half of the identified losses. Those who served in the airborne forces and military personnel of motorized rifle units account for another 20% of the losses each. Perhaps this is due to the fact that protracted battles are taking place on the territory of Donetsk and Luhansk regions, where the armed forces of Ukraine have a developed system of fortified areas.
When storming cities, where the main losses are taking place now, the experience, techniques and skills that airborne paratroopers were taught during their training are not very suitable, because it requires completely different skills.
There are losses among the citizens of the countries of the former Soviet Union. Journalists already know about at least 8 killed from Kyrgyzstan, about 10 from Tajikistan and 12 from South Ossetia. All of them fought in the Russian army. At the same time, people from the Russian provinces and republics dominate in the number of losses. The largest number from Dagestan, Buryatia and Bashkortostan, experts say.
They hope that by preserving the Muscovites and St. Petersburg people who come from the central regions of Russia and utilizing representatives of other peoples living on the territory of the Russian Federation, they will thus eliminate the threat of independence of these national territories in the future.
But the Russian command will get a completely opposite effect by sending representatives of these particular republics to fight, experts say.
The colossal losses among these nationalities lead to a certain extent to a tense socio-political situation in these regions, because for the small nationalities of the Russian Federation, the deaths of tens or hundreds of its representatives becomes publicly known, and accordingly there is a certain rejection among the relatives and friends of the victims.
According to the data of the Memorial to the Natives of Buryatia group, today at least 220 residents from this region alone have been killed in Ukraine. After the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, the death rate of men under 30 there increased 4 times. Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Natalia Voloshina, UATV News.